Yo, what's going on, guys, and welcome back to part 4 of my series on how to code your own Discord bot. Today we're looking at two commands, a welcome command as well as a snipe command. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in there. So we're going to start off with our welcome command, as this is a smaller command versus the snipe command. And we're actually going to head up back to the top of our index.js, and make sure you guys do watch the previous videos, as I did go over many things that I will not be mentioning in this certain video. And at the top we're just going to go ahead and say client.on, and then we're going to say ready as before, but this time we're just going to put two of the parentheses, and we're just going to say console.log again, client is ready. And we're actually going to go down here and say welcome, and then just put in parentheses client, and then we can go ahead and end the code there. This way we can actually go into another JS file and use that, so that's what we're going to do. So we're just going to go into welcome.js. You do not need to put this in any folder. If you want to be organized, then you can do that. So we're going to start off by just saying module.exports is equal to client, and then we're just going to say equal, and then we're going to define channel ID as our channel ID that we want the message to send in. So we're just going to head back into our server and then go to the channel that we want to send it in. So I'm actually going to go into user settings and go over to appearance, because we need to turn on developer mode if you want to see IDs of like channels or servers or anything like that. So we're just going to turn that on, and then you can just go ahead and click the X. Then we're going to actually go to general and right click, and you can now see the copy ID. So we're just going to click that, go back into our code, and we're just going to paste the channel ID right there. This will be the channel that the message will send into. And then we're going to go ahead and define another thing called target channel ID. And we're going to again go back into our server, and we're going to actually create our own rules channel. So I'm just going to say rules. It doesn't really matter what the channel is called, just as long as you have the channel. So we're just going to go ahead and copy that ID, and we're going to go back into our code and again paste it there. Once you do that, you can go down a few lines and say client.on, and then we're just going to say guild member add, and then member in parentheses. Go down a little bit, then we can say const message is equal to, and then we're actually going, and this is actually going to be your welcome message. So whatever message you want, you actually are going to need to put these slanted quotation marks. If you want to put emoji, you're going to have to put the less than sign. And if it's not an animated emoji, you can just put the name and then put colon and then paste the ID of the emoji. To get the ID of an emoji, basically all you need to do is send the emoji into a server. So I'm just going to send this, and then once you do that, you can actually just right click this and then open the image in a new tab. And then you can see this link. So all you're going to need to do is copy these numbers you see here. So right before the .png, you're just going to want to copy these numbers right here, and this is going to be your emoji ID. And then once you do that, you can just, so for instance, the name of that emoji was PayPal, and then I would just paste the ID and then end it right there. And if it was animated, all you need to do is put an A and then another colon right before. For now, I'm just going to keep it at this. I will not be using this as an actual welcome message. I'm just showing this as an example. And I'm just going to go ahead and say hey, and then we can actually tag the user. So you just want to do less than sign, @ symbol, and then you can put $, and then the squiggly parentheses, and we can just say member.id. And then once you do that, you're just going to want to end it, so you can just put the greater than sign and then comma. I'm just going to say welcome to Cypress server, and the stars will make it bold. And then I'm also going to say please check out, and then we're going to say member.guild.channels.cache, and then we could say .get target channel ID, And then we can also say .toString parentheses, and then we can say a exclamation point there, and then we can say again, just put the PayPal emoji, so we're just going to say PayPal, and then paste the ID and edit. Then once you finish the message, you can actually just go down a couple lines, and that is basically it for the welcome message. We're just going to say const channel is equal to member.guild.channels.cache.get, and we can say channel ID. This will send it into the channel. And then we can say channel.send message. So this will send the message. And we can actually just save here. Make sure you save in index.js as well. And then we can type out node dot and test this bot. We get an error. So I actually did forget one thing. To use the welcome message, you actually need to go back into your developer application and change one of the settings. So once you get into your bot settings, we're actually going to go down into where it says privileged gateway intents, and we're going to turn on the president's intent as well as server members intent, and we're just going to save the changes. And once you do that, we can actually use the welcome message. So we're going to go back into our code, and we're just going to turn it on and test it out. I also did forget one thing. You need to define welcome inside of index.js. We're just going to say const welcome is equal to require, and then we're going to say /welcome, and then we can just save from there and turn the bot back on. And as you can see, we have the client is ready both times, so it worked here and it also worked here. And now we can actually go back into our server and see if it works. As you can see, the welcome message does work. It does send exactly the right information, and we did not get any errors in our code, so the welcome message is a success. So now we can go back into our code and we can start creating our Snipe command. It is not a very long command, but it does take a little bit of time to create. So we're just going to keep it organized, and we're going to just say Snipe command right there, and we're going to say client.snipe is equal to new map. Then once we do that, we can say client.on message delete async and then we can say client.snipe.set m.channel.id, and then content m.content sender is m.author.id, and m is the message, so it will send the author ID of whoever created the message. Once you do that, we can just end it right there, and then we can go down a few lines and say client.on message, and then message equals if message.author is equal to client.user, then return. And we can go ahead and define our prefix again to be safe. And we can also define args as message.content.slice prefix.length, and then .trim and .split, same as before. Then we can end it right there, and we can go ahead and also define command as args.shift to locale lowercase and end it there. Then we can go down a few lines and say if the command is equal to snipe, then delete the message. And then we can say let ch equal message dot mentions dot channels dot first, or message dot channel, end it there. And we can say let channel equal client dot snipe dot get, and we can say ch dot id, end it there. Then if channel is equal to null, or channel, then return. And then we can say message dot channel dot send, and we can say there is nothing to snipe. So basically, if there was no deleted messages recently, and this is just to make it bold, and then we can go ahead and say let user equal client dot users dot cache dot get channel dot sender. And we can go ahead and create our embed for the snipe command. So const embed is equal to new discord dot message embed, and we can set the author to sniped, and then we can say plus user dot tag comma, and then you can either put a random image or the image of your bot. If you don't want this, then you don't have to put the comma. I don't have a bot icon, so I'm just going to keep that blank. But if you do, just make sure that you do put comma and then put quotations and paste the link. Make sure it is the image address. So then we're going to go ahead and set the description and say that it is channel.content, and that will be it for that. And then we can say set footer as sniped by, so this will just say whoever sent the message basically. So sent by or sniped by message.author.tag, and then we can set the color to random. Again, if you did not see the other videos, if you do want your own color, then you just put 0x and then paste whatever hex code inside of here, and you do not need these quotations. Then we can go ahead and just send the message to the channel, so message.channel.send embed, and that will do it for that command. We can go ahead and test it now. So no dot. As you can see, we get no errors. Our welcome message still works. So we can head back to our server and try out this command. So again, I did make an error, and you're going to want to just copy all of this code yet again. I did have to make it a little bit more organized yet again. So you can go ahead and pause and just copy all this. Once you do that, you can go ahead and go back to your server and we can test this. So I'm just going to say test, and then I will delete this, and we can just try $snipe. And as you can see, it gives the tag of the user that sent this message, and then it also says sniped by whoever sent the snipe command, and I do not get any errors in my code, so this snipe command does work. That's going to do it for part 4 of my series on how to code your own Discord bot. In the next part, we're going to be going over a strike command as well as a purge command. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care and have a great day.
Somehow I woke up out in Beverly, fucked up, smelling like that bourbon, and I end up alone. I'm not certain. Yeah, the girls impolite in the club every night. That's how it goes when you Hollywood perfect.